Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mom about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundromat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right?
Yo, what it do? What it do? What it do? It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. Cali Dre in the motherfucking building, man. And just want to say Happy New Year to everybody, man. It's New Year's Eve, you know what I mean? We about to turn up, show out, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to drop this quick New Year's Eve live for y'all, man. Update a few stories. Catch up on a little bit of the news that's been going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Most first stories that I want to cover right now. Let's get right to it, man. Let's not even waste no time with this thing. One of the first stories I want to cover is it was a gas explosion that was caught on doorbell cam, destroys a home in California. So let's take a look at what this video entails here, man. I was scrolling around on the internet trying to find some stories to bring to y'all, man, some interesting content, you know what I'm saying? And then I ran across this story here. Let me bring it to y'all real quick. Let's do that. Boom. Let's jump right into this, man. Let's jump right into this. If anybody would have been up in that residence, you know what I mean? Let's hope that nobody was in that residence, but Yeah, that was a crazy video right there, man. What else we got, man? Yeah, I'm not even gonna be on here too long, man. I just wanted to run through a couple stories, man, that came across the airways and caught my attention a little bit. But let's see where we going next with this whole thing, man. Let's see where we going next with this thing. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. I want to go right here, man. I want to go right here. Let's go to the Bronx, man. We're gonna go to the Bronx where it says 19 charged in a Bronx shooting conspiracy tied to a courthouse violence. So let's take a look at this video right here, man, and see exactly what is going on in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? 19 people charged, they say. So we're gonna tap in with this and see what it do, man. Let's go.
Darcel Clark and the NYPD announcing what they are calling a major gang bust. News 12's Mike Lamort shows us the video linking all of these crimes together, plus an exclusive sit-down with the DA.
Watch the moment this basketball game turns into a marathon. The gunman opens fire, causing everyone to run for their lives. The Bronx District Attorney's Office and NYPD.
So as you can see, everybody chilling at the basketball court. It looked like, you know what I'm saying? It looked like it's a regular day. You know what I mean? People out there at the basketball court, but I see a few people looking in this direction over here toward the right, and you can see why in just a moment.
Watch the moment this basketball game turns into a marathon.
Oh, he cleared out the whole motherfucking
fire,
court,
causing everyone to run for their lives. The Bronx District Attorney's Office and NYPD says it's all linked to a massive year-long investigation, leading to the arrest of 19 gang members.
The message should be to those who think that they can come and cause the violence in communities. We're not going to have it.
This sweeping 157-count indictment alleges 2 gangs, Cortland Over Everything and the ABG Crips, are responsible for 7 shootings and 4 fights in the area of St. Mary's Park.
So it says the ABG gang and the Cortland Over Everything gang was involved in what looks like a pretty deadly shooting right here, man. Let me run this video back.
Communities. We're not going to have it.
This sweeping 157-count indictment alleges 2 gangs, Cortland Over Everything and the ABG Crips, are responsible for 7 shootings and 4 fights in the area of St. Mary.
Cortland Over Everything and the Crips responsible for fights, gunshots all throughout the Bronx. ABG Crips, Cortland Over Everything, man. So it looked like 19 people is facing charges in the Bronx in this gang bust. As y'all can see from the video, these boys is out here getting to it, man. They really out here getting to it.
Causing everyone to run for their lives. The Bronx District Attorney's Office and NYPD says it's all linked to a massive year-long investigation, leading to the arrest of 19 gang members.
The message should be to those who think that they can come and cause the violence in communities. We're not going to have it.
This sweeping 157-count indictment alleges 2 gangs, Cortland Over Everything and the ABG Crips, are responsible for 7 shootings and 4 fights in the area of St. Mary's Park, including a brawl outside the Bronx Criminal Courthouse, where District Attorney Darcel Clark says court officers recovered 64 vials of cocaine.
This is the place where you're supposed to get
64 vials of cocaine. So they went and did a sweep. They ran through the Bronx, found the Cortland Over Everything gang and the ABZ Crips. 19 people facing charges in the Bronx in this gang bust. Let's hear what this lady is, kind of information she giving out about what's going on in the Bronx, man.
Court records show 9 of the defendants are teenagers, including 16 and 17 years old, some now facing 6-figure bail tonight. Prosecutors say the violence includes the shootings of 2 people, one of them a 16-year-old boy believed to be a rival gang member.
This is not a good thing to be 16 and you're already in front of a Supreme Court judge or facing indictment.
What does that say about gun violence and teenage gun violence in the Bronx?
Well, what it says is that we have to do all we can to stop young people from getting their hands on guns in the first.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, man. I 100% agree with that. Our youth is getting way out of control, man. Our youth is getting way out of control with this gun violence and the gun use. And I think it's time for us to really, start trying to take a strong stance, man, against, having youths out there that and anybody that shouldn't have a gun, you know what I mean? And mental health people, a lot of people that shouldn't have weapons, man. And so we got to really take a strong stance in our communities, man, and make sure that people are armed lawfully, and making sure that all the senseless violence and everything that's going on, man, we could try to put a clamp on that, because again, we only hurting ourselves with all this, man. We only hurting our own with a lot of this violence, man. And so we definitely want to have the OGs in the community and the activists and the political leaders, man, definitely need to come together with a plan to help reduce a lot of the violence between our young people, especially the gun violence, man. So that's a story out the Bronx, man. 19 people charged in a shooting, conspiracy tied to courthouse violence. So we're going to continue to check in on that, man, and see, what else is going on, man. I want to jump a couple different places here real quick, man. The next place I want to go, man, is a story out of Miami, Florida, man. It says CBS News reports that a video shows a pickup driver dumping a woman's body in West Perrine, man. Put it in the comments, man, if y'all know where West Perrine is out in Florida, man. Let me know where that is in the comments if you are familiar with it. But let's take a look at this story right here, man, and see exactly what's transpiring, because this is a crazy story right here, man. This is a crazy story. Again, this I try to look for interesting topics and things that might catch viewers' attention. And this story right here was most definitely one of those, man. So let's get right to it, man. Check this out.
Top story tonight. Police are looking for a man seen on surveillance video dumping a body out of his pickup truck. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Elliot Rodriguez.
And I'm Chelsea Jones. Lauren Pastrana has the night off. The area is in the West Perrine neighborhood. It's mostly industrial there, but cameras were rolling as the truck pulled up. Let's take you to Southwest Miami-Dade now. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is on the scene. Yvonne, what else can you tell us about the victim?
Okay, so Southwest Miami-Dade video shows a pickup driver dumping a woman's body in West Perrine. So let's get to the man on the scene and see what he's uncovered over here. Let's go.
Yes, Elliot and Chelsea, the victim's body was actually found at the entrance of this business, this shop right here in West Perrine at around 5 a.m. according to.
Okay, so around 5 a.m. Local time there in Miami, it was a body found right in front of this. Looks like a construction yard, construction depot. I can see some trucks over there. But a woman's body was found, man. And I think they have the video showing what vehicle that body was dumped from. So let's continue.
Police. Now, the business owner whose camera shot everything told us that this is a small industrial area that very few people know about it. A surveillance camera caught the moment a pickup truck arrives to the industrial area. The driver turns around and heads over to the place where police found the victim's body. Police confirmed to Ron Van Pauls, a business owner, that the suspect dumped a body.
It was a female, and she was, badly beaten up.
Okay, so Ron Van Paulis here. Hey, put in the comments what brother Ron Van Paulis looks like. You know what I'm saying? Business owner out there in Miami, man. He's saying that pickup truck pulled up late night and contained the body of a beaten up woman, and it looks like somebody dumped her ass out on the side of the road. So let's continue with this. Let's see what we got here.
A body.
It was a female, and she was, badly beaten up, and that's all they know. That's all they've shared with me.
Pauls shared the surveillance video with the cops. The gruesome discovery was at the entrance of another shop on Southwest 170th Street and 99th Avenue.
Yeah, I knew my cameras would be, they cover that area. My guys got here just 2 or 3 minutes after. You can see from the video, 3 minutes later, my guys arrived.
One of them was Pharrell Scott.
If I was here earlier, I would have seen the guy.
He said the truck driver was lucky. This Friday, he was 5 minutes late.
I would have seen everything happen, but I stopped and got my coffee and stuff like that. The video is
Okay. So OG said, hey, he lucky. The driver lucky my ass wasn't out there, because had I seen him, I'd have whooped some motherfucking ass. Okay. He wouldn't have been able to dump that body. I'd have caught up with him, got the license plate, alerted the authorities, all that shit. OG said he on top of this whole shit. Okay. He not playing around. He not fucking around. He not playing no games, man. He said, let him have been out there. You know what I'm saying? It'd have been a whole nother motherfucking news story we'd be reporting on, because I'd have been whooping and beating on his motherfucking ass. Let's continue, man.
One of them was Pharrell Scott.
if I was here earlier, I would have seen the guy.
He said the truck driver was lucky. This Friday, he was 5 minutes late.
I would have seen everything happen, but I stopped and got my coffee and stuff like that. The video is shocking because the guy made a big U-turn right here, stop. I seen him get out, dump the body, but I just couldn't see his face.
Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said they are investigating the case and would not comment on anything yet.
I just, hope they catch this guy. Whoever it is, this needs to be taken care of properly.
Yeah, man, that's a crazy story right there. We're gonna tap back in with that for sure, man. For sure, we're gonna try to get more information on this story. Where are they at with the investigation? Who do they have any identification of the female, et cetera, man? There's a lot of unanswered questions here with this story, man. And I think that we definitely need to do a little bit more digging on that, man. Yeah, so that's another story I wanted to get to, man. I got some other things I want to lay out for y'all, man. I want to jump around a little bit. I got a few things that I want to discuss here. So put in the comments, man, where y'all from. If y'all chiming in, I appreciate y'all viewing the show. Put in the comments what city y'all from, what state y'all from, you know what I mean? Definitely support the channel, like, subscribe. And we definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man, tapping in with us here at the Remix with Cali Dre. The next story that I would like to bring to you guys, man, let's see where we're going to go with this thing here. Yeah, so the next story, I think, let's go right here. Let's go right here with it. Okay. So out here in LA, we're gonna swing, but we're gonna swing out here to California, man. We're gonna swing to Los Angeles. Out here in LA, you know what I'm saying? 7-Elevens have been getting looted by teenagers. They breaking into 7-Elevens like a motherfucker, kicking up dust, man. Slapping up the motherfucking Hindus is working behind the counter. They taking everything, whooping ass, ain't taking no names, man. And so we got a little bit of video of what's been going on out here in Los Angeles, man, with some of these 7-Eleven takeovers, man. 7-Eleven in Los Angeles looted by a group of teenagers for no good goddamn reason at all. So let's go ahead and bring this to the forefront, man. Let's see what we got here. Listen, they said they ain't getting no motherfucking respect. And they're going to show up and they're going to show out, man. And they're going to kick up a whole bunch of motherfucking dust. Look at all these kids, man, dipping into this 7-Eleven, man, just for no good goddamn reason, because they feel disrespected out here in these LA streets, man. Flash mob robberies, man. Flash mob robberies. Beverly Boulevard.
And now to our other top.
Whoa, my bad. So yeah, man, we checking in on this 7-Eleven story, man. Says 7-Eleven in Los Angeles was looted by a group of teenagers, man. For no good goddamn reason at all, other than the fact that they was bored and probably looking for some stuff to do. So yeah, it's been a few of those type of incidences out here in Los Angeles, man. They've been happening. So I don't know what's been going on. Why is such a turn up out here, man? But yeah, they really is not really playing no games, man. Here, let's look at another video on this, man. Hold on, let me put this on the stage real quick. Let me put this on the stage real quick. Give me 1 second. So they got other angles of it. I think this video was captured at the same location. Oh, what's going on? Hold on, gang. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Teens on bikes, and tonight, CBS LA's Lauren Posen shows this video of how it all went down, and she shows this video shot by a person who tried to stop the mob.
We've covered plenty of these stories before. Kids on bikes mobbing convenience stores. The 7-Eleven behind me is just the latest one to be attacked. But what makes this story different is that someone inside the group actually tried to stop it. Stop! Content creator Wavy Michelle signed up for the ride and recorded it all. She wanted to document a ride out when a group of teens ride their BMX-style bikes, sometimes take over streets. But she didn't sign up for this.
Some kids were out there just to support. Like literally kids came to just ride and have fun, but it's the ones that, like that don't really care, don't have morals, that just decide that I'm gonna just do whatever.
So it's a bunch of kids that came out here and was like, yo, we don't give a fuck, man. We gonna do what the fuck we want to do. We gonna turn this motherfucker up, man. We gonna kick the doors down in 7-Eleven, ransack this motherfucker, run out with all the hostesses, all the snacks, all the goddamn 7-Eleven candy out this bitch, man. Hey, listen, guys, put in the comments what your favorite 7-Eleven snack choice is in this motherfucker, man. They went through here and kicked up a whole bunch of shit, man. Let's continue.
In the video, you see people trying to break the door of the 7-Eleven, even after workers try to close it. Michelle tries to get them to stop.
Yo, stop. Yo, guys. Yo,
They eventually get inside, though, and tear the place apart. And then even more people try.
Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. Look at what they did to this damn 7-Eleven, bro. This shit don't make no motherfucking sense right here, bro. They didn't win 7-Eleven and turned this bitch all the way the fuck out. Just for no good goddamn reason than the fact that they was bored. Parents, y'all need to go and whoop some ass. Don't be afraid to whoop a little ass with your kids, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit right here is unacceptable. If your kids is out here in this video tearing up 7-Elevens, you need to whoop their little ass, man. And that's just a fact. You know what I'm saying?
And tear the place apart. And then even more people try to get in.
Somebody was trying to break back in, and like I was not gonna let that happen.
When it was over, she goes inside and records the damage. She tells the clerk she would pay for it too.
He didn't really say much. I feel like in the moment he was like he's like shocked. You feel me?
This is one of a handful of incidents we reported where people on bikes mob convenience stores. Members of the bike life community say this is not what they're about.
This is not what it stands for. We go out there just to have fun, not to ruin people's business.
Michelle says the ride continued after, but what happened has stayed with her. For her, it comes down to doing the right thing, no matter what.
I could have gotten hurt, but it was all God, I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. You wouldn't have got hurt if you wouldn't have had Jazz out there, bro. So listen, hey, it's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, man. Some of this shit is self-inflicted, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you out there with the 7-Eleven kids and kicking up a bunch of shit, breaking into 7-Elevens, vandalizing a whole bunch of property and shit, you get hurt, that's on your ass, man. But hey, wild times we living in, man. These youngsters out here going crazy, man. So, if you an older person in the game, man, sometime, man, you gotta pull a young motherfucker aside and whoop a little ass, man, because these little youngsters out of fucking control, that way out of pocket with this shit, man. Kicking up you 7-Eleven, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's a Tuesday type shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to check in with that story real quick, man. We're gonna bounce around a little bit here, man. What else do we want to go to? Oh yeah, so check this out, man. We're gonna bounce around here to Texas, man. Brazen ATM heist in Texas caught on camera. So let's check this. Let's check in with what's going on, man. Brazen ATM heist caught on camera. So let's check out and see what's going on here in Texas, man. Let me share this to the screen. Let's go.
You have to kind of know the advanced story here. They thought they had a plan to break into or I guess basically walk into a convenience store and steal the ATM because, they're just sitting around there. It's not like in a bank where it's in a wall.
Right. So let's look at some of this video, man. So you got some thieves breaking in there. Looks like this is I don't know what is it. What kind of store is this? What kind of store is this? This is a big gas station. Okay, some kind of gas station, man. Thieves
ATM
late night pulled up.
on one end,
watch this
and
now.
they've got the cable.
Oh wow!
Connected to the other
Oh
end of that
wow!
TV.
Look at that shit.
Look at the gift card.
Look at that shit. They done drug the ATM machine through the gas station, out the window, just to get that motherfucker up out of there and get the contents of the ATM machine. Man.
Okay, so he's trying to hook up the ATM.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Thief
okay.
A goes in, tries to hook the ATM on one end.
Oh, watch this
and
now.
they've got the cable connected to the other end of that.
Look at that shit. Bro, this is out of fucking control right here, man. Hey, listen. This says White Settlement Police Department. The White Settlement Police Department, y'all ain't on y'all motherfucking job because the thieves is getting away with the goddamn ATM machines, it looks like, pretty brazenly, man. They hooked that shit up to a truck, kept it moving, man. And
Yeah, no kidding.
dragging that
Wait
motherfucker
till they
out.
catch these guys. This is in Texas.
Look at this shit. Oh, this is in Texas.
In a little town called White Settlement. There's
White Settlement.
Angle on it.
White Settlement PD.
These guys are all
y'all ain't on
dressed
y'all
up,
motherfucking job out here, bro.
from
Look
head
at
to
this
toe.
shit. They done drug the whole they done drug the ATM machine all throughout the Quickie Mart, bro. All throughout the BP motherfucking gas station. They done drug motherfucker ran in with all blacked out, ski masked up, hooked up the ATM machine. I ain't seen nobody hop from behind the counter. Ain't nobody called nobody. So White Settlement Police Department, y'all ain't on y'all motherfucking job, bro. Y'all slipping. Yeah, we got a little rain out here in California, man. It might be causing a little delay on this internet
to conceal their image.
We back.
But hopefully they've got more cameras around. Anymore there's cameras just about everywhere. So they've got
Look at bro. So bro comes in initially. He crashes into the whole. He nervous than a bitch, bro. You could tell he crashed into the entire display right here, bro. Hold on, let me pull this up. Bro, crash. Look at this. In the beginning, bro crashes into the whole display when he first walks in trying to hook the damn ATM machine up, bro. You could tell these some amateurs, man.
got more cameras around, anymore.
Yeah, he crashed right into this shit. I don't know what the fuck was that all about. Bro crashed right into the whole goddamn Coke department. What was that? The Cokes and the chips. This nigga got Dorito flakes all on top of his damn hoodie, bro. What is this shit? What is this shit? Here, let me back this up.
Got more cameras around, anymore. There's cameras just about everywhere. So they've got them inside this convenience store, but where'd they steal this was their plot. They didn't want to use their vehicle. They stole a vehicle, maybe from right
stolen
in that
vehicle.
area.
Oh man.
And then
stolen vehicle. Stolen vehicle. Blacked out robbers, hoodies, masked, all that. Came in to a Texas gas station with a rope and a chain and some high hopes and some dreams, man. Hooked up the ATM machine, ran that bitch all through the gas station, out the front door. And it looked like they blew that motherfucker up after they got down the road.
And I
Look,
don't
they
think
didn't
they
blew
got
this
any money
motherfucker
out 'cause
apart. Look at this shit, fam. They didn't blew. That's what used to be the ATM machine right there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's left of the motherfucking ATM machine right there, man.
stolen ATM was found a few miles away, all beat up like that.
So you go through all that for nothing?
Right?
How
Or maybe 5 years in
insane.
prison.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, was the ATM machine empty? What they mean they went through all that for nothing? What? Let me know in the comments if you know about this story, man. Was this ATM machine empty?
Miles away, all beat up like that.
So you go through
Look at
all
that, gang. They ran it through the whole front door. Look at the whole front of the gas station. They done ran this whole ATM machine through
A
that
few
bitch, bro.
miles away, all beat up like that.
So
Look
you
at that
go
shit.
through all that.
Hey, imagine if you out, man, pulling up at the gas station, pulling up, trying to get 10 on pump 5 in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me know if you still putting $10 in your gas tank out this bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me get 10 on pump 5 out this bitch, man. And you see a nigga pulling the ATM machine out the front of that bitch.
All beat up
What you gonna do?
So you go through
Let
all
me know
that
in the comments.
for
What you gonna
nothing?
do?
Right?
How
Or maybe 5 years in
insane.
prison.
Yeah.
Look at that shit. That shit is crazy work, man. So it looks like, I mean, I don't even know if these dudes actually got anything from this
And then
ATM
there was
machine.
someone in the store too at that time. Did you see kind of off to the top right?
Oh.
Look at the damage that was caused here, fam. This is crazy, crazy work, man. In Texas, man caught on camera hooking up an ATM machine, running it out the front of the fucking gas station window, bro. Shit out of control. This shit out of control, man. Internet a little spotty, man. I apologize for that.
They kind of
really?
like scurried away.
back.
Well, as they noticed that person ran in and was like hooking up the ATM.
Yeah.
But lucky, like when that came flying out, like it didn't hit somebody in there. But I guess at that point, they're doing this. They probably don't really care who, might get hurt in the process.
Yeah, no,
This
that's
is
a really
wild,
good point.
though.
It is wild. And investigators actually think these guys lost the ATM somewhere along the way as they were speeding out of it. I could see where you hit a.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. You gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. These guys lost the ATM machine. So they do all this work, bro. They go in here, they hook the ATM machine up late night, ski masked up, blacked up. Hook the ATM machine up, drag it all throughout the motherfucking BP gas station or whatever guy. Put in the comments if you know what gas station it was. Drag that motherfucker all throughout the gas station, all through the front door, blow a big ass ATM size hole through the front door. And they ended up losing the ATM machine in transit as they were trying to get away with the crime. You can't make this shit up, bro. Like, you cannot make this shit up. This shit crazy, man. Get the likes up. Get the cash apps up. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine
Subscribe
being
to the
able to
channel.
build an app with your
You know
name
what I
on
mean?
it
We're going to be
just
bringing
by
you great
thinking
news
about
and
it.
great content
Meet Base 44.
all the way through. Let's continue, man. Oh, actually, that might have been the end of it, man.
It's
So, yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that shit, man. So we're gonna check more in on that story, I guess, man. See if they apprehended the goofy motherfuckers that tried to take that ATM machine. But we're gonna tap back in with some other stories here, man. So let's get to, you know what I'm saying, what the title was all about. One of the title videos that I want to show you guys is about the singer David. So if you guys have been following along, David is a I guess what you call him, a pop singer, hip hop singer. He is under investigation currently for the death of his, I guess, ex-girlfriend Celeste. Her body was found in the trunk of his car while he was on tour. So there are some updates to that story that I want to bring to you guys, man. And it looks like David ass might finally be done, man. They might be trying to finally put a case on David ass, man, because this shit been going on way too long, bro. You know, any motherfucker in the world, put in the comments, man. Any motherfucker in the world, man. If you go to work one day, you come back to the spot, and you know, so they call you and tell you that they done found a dead body in your goddamn trunk. Put in the comments how fast you think the police is gonna be at your house, bro. Because yeah, I mean that shit is crazy, bro. I know motherfuckers that get picked up, you know what I'm saying, sweated by the police for way less, man. This man had a body in his trunk of his car for some days and weeks, I believe, before it was discovered by the police, man. And so I don't know why this guy hasn't been arrested yet, but we're gonna check in a little bit with this story, man, and see what the latest updates are. Let me bring this to y'all, man. Let me bring this to y'all. So David, the singer David, man, back in the news, his story going crazy all over the world, man. Let's check in and see what the latest updates is with David in the case that is against him, or that actually will be, I guess. It's gonna be a matter of time.
So as you know, we have been on top of this story from the very beginning. We plan to cover every aspect of it as it develops. And the reason that we can do that is because of the incredible support that we get from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest personal injury law firm, a firm with over 1,000 attorneys who have recovered $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients.
Ain't nobody talking about all this. Look, let's get to the story, bro. You starting off the whole wrong way,
back in September in LA. After all of that, now TMZ is reporting that he will likely face murder charges. Now, I have to take a second to explain.
TMZ is reporting that David is likely to face murder charges for the death of Celeste Rivas, I think her name is. Let's continue with this.
Explain how confusing this is if true. Okay, I say if true because obviously there is no way to officially confirm this. Authorities are not going to confirm this. I mean, the New York Post just reported that they reached out to a Los Angeles District Attorney's Office spokesperson who said the case hasn't been presented to the office. But TMZ is reporting that this is likely that David could be charged with murder because the reported grand jury hearing this case may be asked to hand down an indictment. Now, assuming for a moment that there is a grand jury, and I think we can safely say that may be true. There was reporting about a grand jury and certain witnesses testifying because they appeared in the courthouse, like David's manager, Robert Morgenroth. So assuming that reporting is true, you can assume that perhaps a grand jury has been impaneled. But we always thought that it was an investigative grand jury. This is different. An investigative grand jury is one that helps to gather evidence.
Okay, so basically he's saying that there's a grand jury that's already been, if there's a grand jury that's been accumulated, then that's probably not a good sign for David, man, because if there's a grand jury that's been accumulated, that means that they got, he's the target of this investigation, and basically it's probably just a matter of time before he is charged in this case. Let me see what we got here. Let me see if I can find another story on this case here. Give me 1 second. Get the likes up, get the cash apps up, subscribe to the channel, The Remix with Cali Dre, man. We're gonna be bringing you a lot of dope content. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get on here and get a quick live. New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's to everybody that's watching, man. Put in the comments what your New Year's resolutions is. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, let's tap in with this David story a little bit because it's just the weirdest story in the world, man. This man is clearly has some type of, I don't want to do any implicating here, but it's a strange coincidence that this young lady was found in the trunk of his car, and and you know, he hasn't been arrested yet. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to look at that. But here, let's check in with TMZ, man, and see what TMZ got to say about this story, man.
And she has been, as a matter of fact, Alexa, come over here for a second.
We know that she's been some of the people that she's been grilling.
Coming over.
And they're all, do we have a boom mic over?
Yeah.
Singer David likely
has
to be
been
indicted
down
in
at
murder
the
case.
grand jury room for a couple of weeks now. And they're in a recess right now for the holiday. But you saw the manager of David, the day-to-day manager, going in and out. And when he came out and talked to his lawyer, he made it clear that Beth Silverman was rabid about this case.
Yeah, Robert Morgan Roth, obviously David's day-to-day manager, been seen with him a lot on tour. He kind of poked at that. He told Beth that he really didn't.
So David's day-to-day manager going crazy over there. What it sound like? Got his artists wrapped up in one of the craziest cases that I've seen in a long time. And you know, let's hope that there's some resolution to this case, because it's unfortunate what happened to that young lady, man. She didn't deserve that. Rest in peace to her. Prayers out to her family. But David, strange brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Strange young brother. He, you know, if you go into the history of you know, a lot of his work, it's a lot of dark energy, a lot of dark artwork, you know, and he had caskets at his concerts. You know, it's a lot of weird, strange, you know, death-based content that comes from David. And so a lot of people think, man, that could be, you know, play a large part in what happened to this young lady. And you know, so let's check in with TMZ a little bit more and see what they got to say about this whole thing, man.
I feel like it was his
Well,
responsibility.
she said, why didn't you call the cops? She said this to him when he was testifying. Why didn't you call the cops?
Yeah, and he explains that Beth was very pushy on that answer, getting that answer out of Robert. But he said it wasn't his responsibility and that he just wanted to continue.
And again, we don't.
So the manager is saying that he didn't feel like it was even his responsibility to call the cops because, you know, shit, I guess he didn't want to have nothing to do with this shit. I mean, but you know, again, it sounds like, you know, people are pointing the finger, escaping responsibility, and there needs to be some accountability for what happened to this young lady, man. And so I don't know why what's taking so long. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with the LAPD, man? You know, it's a lot of conspiracies about, you know, the role that they have played in various cases over the years, but they dragging their motherfucking feet with this, man, and they need to go ahead and put some action behind this, because you know, listen, if circumstantial evidence could convict, bruh, but you know, I mean, who else could it be? You know what I'm saying? And access to his whip, she was found in his whip, unless he let somebody drive it, which he should be forthcoming with that information. But it doesn't seem like he, you know, doesn't seem like his camp is, you know, putting out any information that would be, how do I say, that would lead you to believe that they had any concern with what happened to this young lady, right? And so, you know, whether they were involved or not, who knows, that's going to play itself out. But like the young lady said, right, why didn't anybody call the police? Why wasn't anybody notified once, you know, the young lady went missing? And that just looks guilty, man. It brings a lot of suspicion on you know, the people who had her in their care. You know what I mean? And so let's see what else we got here on this TMZ, man.
Know what the question was before that led to her saying, why didn't you call the cops?
Or something he had said. But it's
Or something he
clearly a
said.
crime, because you call the
Right.
cops when
Well,
there's
she
a
called-
crime.
right.
So
She believes there was a crime.
There was something that Morgan Roth apparently knew, because he acknowledges it's not my responsibility. Something he knew that triggered Beth Silverman into saying, well, why didn't you call the cops? So it had to be something involving a crime. Now, we know that her body was found in his Tesla in a bizarre set of circumstances.
Very
where
bizarre
in
set
the
of
spring,
circumstances, man. That's a fact. So the body was found in his car. From what I understand, the car had been moved a few different times before it was found. I think they caught it on doorbell cam. And then the car had been moved a few times before it had been found. But this is a very bizarre story, man.
He made this mysterious trip, David did, to Santa Barbara and spent a couple of hours in the middle of the night.
Right.
And then came back.
And then came back.
And
keep in mind, and of course, the car was found very close to the home that he had been renting. I mean, everything from day one.
Renting from the lease was under the name of the co-manager who was in Morgan Roth's company.
Right. So it's all kind of.
Yeah, so it's all kind of real, you know. The car it is in David's name. That the house is in some manager's name that was leased to this person or that person. Like at the end of the day, this young lady was in the care of David and his team, and she came up dead. And she was, you know, found in David's car, in the trunk of David's car. And so those are really the facts that are, you know, most substantiated. A lot of the rest of this stuff is you know, Monday morning quarterbacking or speculation. But you know, the facts to me are pretty clear. I mean, they were found in David's the young lady's body was found in David's car. The car had been moved a few times. So I mean, it shouldn't really. This should be a pretty fairly open and shut case, right? Who had access to the car? Does the Tesla have cameras? I'm still unclear on, you know, I know for a fact Tesla has cameras, but I'm unclear on if they were, you know, were they in use at that time? Were they operable at that time? Or, you know, what's the story with that? So there's just still some unanswered questions with this, but for the most part, I think in my eyes, this is a pretty clear cut and dry situation, right? David was messing with an underage girl. Underage girl comes up deceased and found in the back of his car while he's out on tour. Car had been moved several times. So he and one of his friends end up taking a trip out to, was it Santa Barbara, around the time of her disappearance. So, I mean, I think that there's a lot here to at least detain David and get some answers to some questions, man, because there's you know, there's some answers that need to be retrieved on this situation, man.
Aligning.
It's all around David. I mean, as they say, like the it's closing in. The walls. If you're David, you've got to feel like the walls are closing in on you because the people that they've brought before this grand jury, plus everything that we know about the case already, that lines up around him.
And grand juries,
the old adage is you can indict a ham sandwich. They are going to listen to what the prosecutors present as evidence. And even if this started in some investigatory fashion,
think it didn't.
It probably didn't, but this can morph into something they're going to hand out an indictment. That's what grand juries typically do. You can go on this fishing expedition and investigate, but typically their job is to
we've confirmed this now. Yeah. Multiple sources. It was never an investigative grand jury.
Right. Totally understand. So now their job is to take what evidence is presented to them, even with.
Okay. So I think that's a fairly important point, right? If it was never an investigative grand jury, then that means that grand jury that was convened, you know, they're there to hand out an indictment of some sort. And so we'll see how that transpires, man. It looks like, says right here, the singer David likely to be indicted in this murder case. I don't think there was ever any doubt in my mind of who was responsible ultimately for this young lady's death. But the investigation has progressed, in my eyes, pretty slowly. But I don't know what the authorities have and what they don't have. So, you know, that's just my assessment from the outside looking in. But you know, singer David, man, it looks like him and his team, you know, are starting to hear those footsteps and just starting to, you know, that long arm of the law is starting to wrap itself around David and his team situation. And we'll see how this thing unfolds, man. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but you know, there's just a lot of unanswered questions from the standpoint of, like, if you're just a decent person, right? Like if one of my friends go missing, you know, I'm definitely going to alert people, the family or what have you, and have them alert the authorities or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, for me, it's like, you know, he didn't, the thing that makes it strange is he spent a lot of time with this young lady. She's in multiple videos. She's in, a lot of his content, as you would say, right? But, around a certain time around of her disappearance, those appearances start to dwindle. She disappears and nobody's asking any questions. So to me, if you were in that steep of a relationship with this young lady, and then all of a sudden out the blue, you're not asking any questions when she, disappears. I mean, to me, like that's one of those red flags that we'll call it, right? That's a huge red flag. And I think that TMZ just alluded to it a little bit in their intro. But let's continue and see what else they're talking about on here, man.
Witnesses who may be combative and hand down an indictment, whether that is murder or something else. We don't know that yet, or what degree of murder you're going to have.
We do know this. The cops have said, sources within the police department have told us they are treating this as a murder, as is the DA. So they are looking.
Okay, so they treating this as a murder. You know what I mean? I think that's another important nugget of information that we could gather, right? So up until this point, people have been speculating of cause of death, and was she frozen, and a lot of different questions, man. But as you can see, TMZ is reporting that this is being treated as a murder case by the LAPD and by the district attorney's office.
Looking at this as a murder, and they are looking at David as their primary
So
suspect.
once this grand jury.
Okay, so there's another bit of information. Let's run that back because I think that's very important, man. They looking at this as a murder, and they looking at David as the primary suspect for this murder, man. I think that's a little bit of breaking news right here, man. Let me run that back and make sure that we get that on wax. You know what I'm saying?
Name of the co-manager who was in Morgan Roth's company.
Right. So it's all kind of aligning.
It's
here.
all around David. I mean, as they say, like
It's all around
closing
David.
in. The walls, if you're David, you've got to feel like the walls are closing in on you, because the people that they've brought before this grand jury, plus everything that we know about the case already, that lines up around him.
And grand juries,
the old adage is you can indict a ham sandwich. They are going to listen to what the prosecutors present as evidence. And even if this started in some investigatory
I don't
fashion,
think it didn't.
It probably didn't, but this can morph into something. They're going to hand out an indictment. That's what grand jury.
They are going to hand out an indictment, man. And it looks like David is going to be at the center of this indictment, man. Singer David likely to be indicted in this murder case, according to TMZ, the murder of Celeste Rivas, young lady that David was kissing. And, now it looks like David is at the center of this murder investigation. And it is, according to TMZ, being treated as a murder. And David is being treated as the primary suspect.
Juries typically do. You can go on this fishing expedition and investigate, but typically their job is to
we've confirmed this now. Yeah. Multiple sources. It was never an investigative grand jury.
Right. Totally understand. So now their job is to take what evidence is presented to them, even with witnesses who may be combative, and hand down an indictment, whether that is murder or something else. We don't know that yet, or what degree of murder you're going to have.
We do know this. The cops have said, sources within the police department have told us they are treating this as a murder, as is the DA. So they are looking at this as a murder, and they are looking at David as their primary suspect.
Once this,
there it is. They are looking at this as a murder, and they are looking at David as the primary suspect. So I think that that's an important bit of information for this case, man. David, him and his team, man, they've been pretty silent as far as the public is concerned. I don't know what information that that they're releasing to the police department, but it looks like David is being looked at here. This is being looked at as a murder, and David seems to be the number one suspect in this murder, man. Let's go ahead and continue and see what else we got here on TMZ, man.
grand jury, look, they may not even need to come back. We don't know.
They could do it much earlier. There's a hearing, I believe, scheduled for February.
Right. And in January. Right.
I don't think they're going to rush.
But they
things.
could. They
But
well.
that's the thing, it's just so unclear.
They've taken it very carefully this far.
There's
They
some-
don't want to botch it at the 5-yard line.
There's something I know. I don't think that February witness is essential. Based on, I can't say what I know, but I don't think that witness is essential. So they may wait until then, but they may not. I mean, they could come in at whatever point. And
they could. Why not belt and suspenders? They've been so careful.
Okay, so basically they trying to discuss the strategy and all that, man. I don't really want to get into any kind of trial strategies or anything like that, man, because I don't think we at that point yet. But looks like singer David likely to be indicted in this murder case, man. And you know, it looks like he's about to be the primary suspect, man. So we're gonna definitely stay tapped in with that, man. Just wanted to bring you guys that update. TMZ's reporting that the singer David likely to be indicted in a murder case. And this is being looked at as a murder case, according to the LAPD and according to the LA District Attorney's Office. So that is very, very interesting updates right there, man. The last story I want to cover, man, is something that actually just broke out into the news, and we're gonna stay tapped in on that David story too, man. But this story right here just kind of hit the airwaves, and it's New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs is facing charges, and some serious charges as well, man. Young lady came out and said that Stefon Diggs has assaulted her in some way, shape, or form. And so we're gonna tap into Boston News, man, and see exactly what's going on here, man. Stefon Diggs, leading wide receiver for the New England Patriots, gonna be charged with some assault charges and looks like strangulation charges as well, which are very steep, man. That's a very steep penalty. Looks like he got into a situation with a chef that worked with him. So let's tap in with the Boston News, man, and see what they're talking about on this situation.
Well, breaking right now on WBZ, New England Patriots star Stefon Diggs is facing serious criminal charges. We have just obtained paperwork from Dedham District Court indicating that the wide receiver is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery. This is stemming from
Strangulation, felony strangulation, and assault with battery. So, yeah, felony strangulation. That's not good. That's not good. So let's check in and see what's going on here, man. What are these charges stemming from?
is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery. This is stemming from an
Felony strangulation or suffocation. Let me get that correct. Felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery. Ooh wee, man. Hey, that's nasty work right there, man. If true, you know what I mean? Everybody innocent until proven guilty. But if true, that's some nasty charges right there.
incident back on December 2nd. Diggs is scheduled to be arraigned on the charges in Dedham on January 23rd. That is just 2 days before the AFC Championship game. The wide receivers' attorneys were in court this morning for a hearing, and we are working to learn more about the incident that led to these charges. We did reach out to the Patriots for a statement. We have that for you here. It says the New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs.
Okay, so the Patriots are aware of the situation with Stefon Diggs, felony strangulation charge, misdemeanor assault charge. The Patriots say that they are aware of the situation. They dropped a statement, and let's get a read on what that statement says.
Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. Out of respect for all of the parties involved, and given that this is an ongoing legal matter, we will have no further comment at this time. We want to bring in Dan Roach.
Okay, so Patriots say, hey, they are aware of the situation. They are putting their investigative team to work, it looks like. They say in the statement that they support Stefon Diggs and they will continue to gather information and will fully cooperate with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. So Stefon Diggs, man, leading receiver for the New England Patriots. Patriots, I believe, have secured their spot in the playoffs. So this definitely ain't the right time for this type of situation to be popping off, man. But yeah, let's see what else we got here on this news report.
This is an ongoing legal matter. We will have no further comment at this time. We want to bring in Dan Roach now to talk about this with us and the impact, Roachy, that this could have for the team, for the playoffs. We've been on such a roll. How does Coach
Dan Roach, you got a fucked up ass name, bro. Just want to throw that out there, bro. Hey, no disrespect, but man, they fucked you with that, G.
Vrabel make sure that this doesn't become a distraction for them?
Well, Brianna, I think it's very early in the fact-finding part of this as far as just what happened, how it happened, when it happened, who was involved, and everything else, which we haven't seen or heard yet. So I think that's the first part of it. And then the second part to me is that he categorically denies it when it comes.
Okay, so I think there's some important information here that Mr. Dan Roach has alluded to, right? The victim to this point hasn't been identified. And also, you know, he categorically denies what happened. And so, again, you know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, man. There's a lot more that needs to come out in this story. But in the intermediate, Stefon Diggs is being charged with felony strangulation and a misdemeanor assault charge. So let's continue.
To what happened. So we're going to have to find out the story. Beyond that, I can tell you that as a veteran, a wide receiver, a number one wide receiver coming in, there were questions about Steph Diggs and, you know, how would he behave? How would he handle it? You know, a lot of the number one wide receivers could be divas, if you call it, at times. And he has been nothing but a role model, a perfect citizen in that clubhouse or locker room for this New England Patriots team, so much so that he's emerged as a leader. The players look up to him. I think the coaching staff certainly respects him, and everything that he's done in a Patriots uniform has been good for the team. In fact, just the other day, post game after their win over the Jets down in New Jersey, he was speaking in the locker room talking about being 30 yards away from being a 1,000 yard wide receiver, I think for the 7th time in his career. And
yeah, Stefon Diggs, he balls, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a baller out there, having a good season. This dude's talking about the accolades a little bit and everything going on with him. I want to hear a little bit more about the case, man. Let me see what's going on with this case.
So, like I said, it's again, nothing surprises me, you know, in sports anymore. But I think for everything that we've seen and have been with the guy from day one here in that Patriots locker room, he's been nothing but a role model citizen. So we shall see how it unfolds. But from my perspective, he's been everything you want as a teammate, as a leader, as a New England Patriot so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, Dan Roach vouching for Stefon Diggs' character, man. You know, and the New England Patriots look like they vouching for his character. They said they standing with him. I want to get to another news article about this situation, see if we can gain a little bit more insight as to either the accuser or, you know, how the situation unfolded to begin with, man. So let me bring this to y'all attention right here, man. Stefon Diggs charged facing strangulation and assault charges. And but the Patriots are sticking with him. He's categorically denying it. And Dan Roach seemed like, you know, he attesting to his character as well. So let's tap in with this reporter here and see what insight they have on this story.
PFTPM focusing on the news that emerged out of nowhere on Tuesday morning regarding a criminal case against Patriots receiver Stefon Diggs. Specifically, he faces a felony strangulation or suffocation charge and an assault and battery charge. That one is a misdemeanor. The report first surfaced via Boston25news.com. The Patriots have since issued a statement acknowledging the charges. We'll read that to you in a minute. For now, though, here are the details. There are none. We don't know.
Okay, here are the details, man. Look, we all over top of this story over here, man. Here are the motherfucking details, right? It ain't no motherfucking details, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no details. Let's go.
What is alleged? We don't know what supposedly happened. We do know that the incident occurred, if at all, on December 2nd, the day after the Patriots beat the Giants on Monday Night Football at Gillette Stadium. Per the report, Diggs' lawyers were in court on Tuesday trying to argue that the police report should remain sealed. That would keep the details secret. Common sense tells us the details must not be savory, to say the least, for the lawyers to actually try to keep the police report from being made available to the public. Police.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, man. I mean, I think that, that could be looked at in two ways. I think a good lawyer is always going to try to suppress as much evidence as he can, right, for his client. So I don't know necessarily that you can read, a whole lot into that. But, in a situation like this, if I'm Stefon Diggs and I didn't do anything wrong and the playoffs are here and I got other things to focus on, I'm trying to get this off my plate, I would most definitely not object to the details coming out if I felt like it could help exonerate me. So I think that could be looked at a couple of different ways. I don't think you can definitively one way or the other make a judgment based on, his lawyer trying to suppress the evidence, man. I think that's, what any good lawyer would try to do, man.
These reports are almost always made available to the public because they're public records, and allegations are allegations. Stefon Diggs will have all available protections in the criminal court system, but the allegation is what it is. That's how a case gets started. So there are three prongs to this situation that I think we need to be aware of. First, the criminal case. We don't know how far this will go. Will it go to a jury trial? Will there be a plea at some point? Will it even get past the initial hurdles of probable cause? Will there?
Yeah, I want to say this, man. I think if Stefon Diggs is smart, he'll do what he can to try to make this go away before the playoffs, because I think the Patriots got a pretty good team. They probably got a good shot at going all the way. So if I was him, I would try to throw this young lady some settlement money and get her the fuck up out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Be a grand jury indictment. Will the grand jury refuse to indict? These are all things to play out within the confines of the criminal justice system. So that's number one, and that's something that will move at its own pace in its own time and reach its own conclusion. Then there's the Patriots. They've got one game left in the regular season. They've got the postseason coming.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to get into all that. I mean, I'm not really tripping off what the Patriots is doing. So looks like they pretty light on details with this story, man. Let me see what else we got here.
Denies the allegations. Now, they say they've been made aware of the accusations. Do they have access to the details of the police report that Diggs' lawyers have tried to keep sealed? We don't know that part. They don't address that part. The second thing that I think is noteworthy, when they say we support Stefon, they're not going to do anything. When Jabril Peppers was accused of domestic violence, Robert Kraft said if the allegations are true, he's gone. Well, they let the process play out through a jury trial that resulted in an acquittal of Jabril Peppers, and the Patriots kept him on the team. So they're going to apply that same precedent here. It's an accusation. It hasn't been proven. Until it is, he's part of the team.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, man. I think, it's just an accusation until, further notice, man, until some things are proven out. I think, I think that's the fairest way and most, allows him the most due process to get this situation, get some resolve to this situation for sure.
So that's where the Patriots stand. The last part, and I think this is the most important one as it relates to his availability to play in the coming weeks, with some important games coming up once the postseason gets rolling. The league, under the personal conduct policy, will have the ability, if it chooses to do so, to put Stefon Diggs on the commissioner exempt list, paid leave. That isn't something that happens all the time. That is something the league has discretion to use. A lot of it depends upon the victim. Was it a domestic violence situation? Was it Stefon Diggs fighting with someone else? Did it happen out in public? Did it happen at home? There's a lot of factors that the league would consider in making a decision preliminarily as to whether or not he should be put on paid leave. That's separate from any punishment that would be imposed when the criminal case is resolved. And that's what the league does now.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, man. And salute to this dude for giving us that information. I think that's an important point. It's definitely in a situation like this, you want to try to read as much information as you can, right? We never are going to be able to be inside the room and hear, what see the investigator notes or anything like that. But all you could do is kind of read the room, right? And read the situation and see what moves are being made by both sides, right? And so I think he made an important point by saying, like, depending on what the Patriots do, if they put him on the commissioner's exempt list, then that's probably a sign of, hey, maybe the victim is there may be a lot more meat to this story than everybody was first aware of, or the Patriots may have information that has not come out to the public yet. So that could be an important indicator as to what part of this story that the public is able to have access to, and how much of this story we actually are really going to be able to find out. I think that'll be a huge indicator what the Patriots do. But let me know in the comments, man, what you guys think. If you have any other information about this story, man, or any of the other stories that we've covered here tonight, please feel free to leave it in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me today, man. I didn't want to make this too long. I want to get to these college football games, man, and get to watching these college football playoffs. You know what I'm talking about. But definitely, man, leave me a comment. I appreciate y'all joining. Subscribe to the channel, man. And we're gonna try to bring y'all the best content we can, man, and always bring y'all some factual based information over here on this platform, man. So until next time, man, y'all tap in with me, man, and I'm gonna tap in with y'all, man. It's been real. I'm Cali Dre, man, and this is the remix with Cali Dre, man. And I'm out, man.
Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mom about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got